a lot of people actually thought I was I'd be like a traveller, you know what I mean? Like I'd get the same sort of things. Like we always spent a lot of time with friends that were travellers and all that. And like
When you say travellers, do you mean like gypsies?
Yeah, like same. In Irish they're called travellers.
Yeah, okay.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. That's me. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers. Yeah. So like everyone always, boxing, horses.
Meant one thing.
Yeah, 100%. You know, so people always used to say I was a traveller and stuff. But I loved it. It didn't bother me. You know what I mean? So get on with it well. Like and every gym you went to, there's loads of travellers and stuff as well. You know, and it was great.
So it was more just what you did, boxing?
100%. Yeah. Like I started boxing because I was getting bullied when I was in primary school, and from there I just went, like, I wasn't going to go to the boxing thing, I'm going to go out in the street and start fighting and all that, but just to give you that little bit of self-confidence and stuff, you know. Is it on?
No, just checking. I'm going to check that because I don't want to fuck it all up. We're going to keep going, dude.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think about, like, my mother took me to the boxing gym, and it was great sort of for a bit of self-confidence, bit of discipline. Not that you're going to go out in the street and fight or anything, you know what I mean? It's
Had
more,
to be able to, though.
100%, just to be able to stand up for yourself. And the good thing is this, the word I would say is self-confidence. Not self-defense, self-confidence. So to be able to be confident and be able to stand up for yourself if needed.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of young kids should definitely get to a boxing gym or some sort of... I think boxing's the best, to be honest with you. Like, you can do jiu-jitsu and all that, but what are you going to do if someone hits you a punch in the head, you know what I mean? Or are you going to try and get them rolling, get them in an armbar or any of that, you know? I do believe boxing's the best for discipline-wise.
Yep.
And that was one thing if I could give any young child growing up a bit of, like, knowledge and stuff.
Life advice.
Yeah, life advice, I would definitely recommend them to go to a boxing gym.
So, at what age did you start to take boxing serious? And was there something that triggered you? Like, at what age did you think, you know what, I'm going to try to actually have a crack at this?
Yeah, well, like, I started boxing when I was 9, and you can't actually fight competitively until you're 11.
Yep.
You get your book and stuff, and then you can actually have decision fights. I had a lot of exhibitions and stuff before that, but to be honest, I am a very competitive person, whether it be in anything, you know. And I think I didn't just go to the fights just to make up the numbers. That was not me at all. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to try and win it, you know what I mean? And that's the way I've always been throughout my life. Maybe it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but it is what it is, and that's who I am. So, so I won my first national title when I was 11.
Wow.
Yeah, so I won 7 national
So
titles.
what, 2 years prior you were being bullied?
Yeah.
And then 2 years later you're a national
champion. Yeah.
Did that change much? And how much of the
just
bullying did you take into the, like, sort of that? Or
it was good. It stood by me. He wouldn't bully me now, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I was a small, like, chubby sort of child, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, like, I didn't know really anything about making weight, or I just sort of boxed whatever weight it was, you know. Looking back now, and obviously I've got a younger brother, I was able to guide him. Like, he was 33 kilos whenever he was 11, and I was 44 kilos.
Yeah.
That's 11 kilos heavier.
Yeah.
And we were the same age, same height, you know what I mean? It just puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that guidance that he had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, from there, won a couple of national titles and travelled around the country in Ireland, and then I started to travel overseas as well, fighting. You know, it was great. Like, boxing is massive in Ireland.
What sort of time frames are this? Like, is this sort of 11 through to what age?
Yeah, so it's like, I think sort of got on the national team when I was like, did the schoolboy training when I was a bit, when you're 11, you know what I mean? But it's not as big as, you know, starting to go to the European Championships. I went to the European Youth Championships in Rotterdam. I think I was about 15 then. But luckily I got to go to, like, the Cyprus, got to go to America, got to go to Spain, Portugal. Been to all these countries boxing before, and then as I got older, it gets a little bit more serious. I stopped playing Gaelic football, which is the GAA, like similar to AFL, but only with a round ball. That's a big thing. Throughout the schools, throughout everything, you know.
How were you? What was your ability like in Gaelic football?
I was sort of athletic then, you know.
Were you kicking goals or were you
I was
defending?
kicking. Yeah, I was left-footed as well. That's why I'm southpaw. Yeah. I always hit the free kicks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I loved it, you know what I mean? I loved scoring. Again, competitive, you know. I loved winning. Hated fucking losing.
Yeah.
I hated losing.
Where did that come from? Was that sort of passed down as like a value from maybe one of your parents?
Too sure. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think it's just when you put time and effort into something, and I think, you know, that's sort of why I sort of edged towards that individual sport then, you know what I mean?
You controlled the outcome.
Yeah, 100%. It was completely on me.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously you have your coach and stuff, which I'm very grateful for, but like, it's up to the day. At the end of the day, it's you. You got to put the work in, and you're the ones in the ring doing the fight. So, and I loved that. No one else could let you down, and I loved fighting. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I like training and stuff. Always training, but I love fighting. Like, I hate not having a fight coming on.
And I think
even now, still.
Yeah, and I think from like the traveller, and we'll use you just explained earlier what traveller was, but you know that gypsy sort of moving around doing a lot. There's a lot of showmanship in that sort of stuff, like from the movies and TV shows I've seen. So you know that probably comes out a little bit in how you conduct yourself, because you are quite like the showman, and you know you bring a lot of fans. You are a good seller in that.
Yeah.
In that you sell yourself really well.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, you know, and I get a buzz off that, I get a drive of that. Some people are the complete opposite, you know, they might be the best gym sparrers in the world, and on fight night they don't really perform. I feel like I'm the opposite, I don't spar that great, but on the fight night I sort of rise for it, you know, and I think that's what it's all about, you know.
So how, like your fight week, because I know you do some stuff in Thailand, but more your mentality around that, because at what age did you move to Australia and sort of settle here?
Yeah, I think when I was about 21, 22, I think. Yeah, I'm here about 7 years now.
Was there a purpose for that initial transition?
Yeah, Steve Deller got in contact with me and offered me the chance to come here and turn professional. So obviously it's a big question at the time, and I couldn't just say yes straight away. I wanted to come out and see where I was going to be training, what the setup was like, and like there's people that's done it before, you know what I mean? There's been plenty of Irish fighters that has came here before, and
what was the boxing space in Australia like back then, though? Like, who was headlining? Are we talking sort of the Jeff Horn, like Mundine sort of?
Yeah, I think I just missed the Jeff Horn sort of Manny Pacquiao fight. I came just after that. It was meant to be an unbelievable spectacle for Australian boxing, you know. I just missed it, and I came just after that. But I had a lot of idols and stuff growing up, you know. Terms of like Andy Lee, you know, now he's a top class coach at the moment. He was one of my favourites growing up. Tall, southpaw, similar style to me. Yeah. I always followed him. Yeah. I loved watching him, you know what I mean? And it was unreal. Joe Calzaghe, another one. Yeah. I sort of always watched southpaws because that's what I was, you know? Yeah. And loved that. They all liked a bit of show business and stuff as well. And again, it's not that I'm cocky. I don't like that word at all, because some people, if you think that I come across them cocky, I'm actually not. It's just I get my sort of confidence from my hard work and stuff, and it's just believing in myself. Like,
it goes all the way back to that kid, like you said, 100%. Walking down the street.
Yeah, and you've never heard me like call people out or be disrespectful. I like to do my talking in the ring, you know what I mean? And some people think you need to talk shit to sell tickets. Well, I'm the proof that you don't, you know what I mean? I'm probably one of the biggest ticket sellers here in Australia, and I don't talk shit, you know what I mean? So everyone's different, and I think it's how you sort of.
It's how you market yourself, and I think a lot of it, as far as that side of things and how you sell tickets, you have to be very humble and not. I wouldn't say humble, because obviously there's a lot of people that aren't humble in the sport, but you have to be your authentic self. If you are authentically cocky, then go for it. Yeah. But if you try to turn it on, people are going to see straight through it. And that's, I think, where things become an issue. That people try to emulate what they see online and think that, whereas the reality is it just doesn't come across good. But,
and I think the good thing about, with me is what you see is what you get, you know what I mean? Like, I like to have a beer, I like to, have a bit of fun, and I'm not afraid to hide that.
Or a Guinness.
Yeah, I love a Guinness, It's hard to get a good one here in Brisbane, but you got to get into the Finn McCool's. Yeah. That's my spot.
I've never tried a Guinness, mate. You'll have to introduce me one day.
Definitely.
But, so as your career progresses, right, you move to Australia by yourself?
No, my partner Clina came with me.
So your partner, how long has she been on the journey for now?
Yeah, we've been together now 9-10 years, I'd say. Maybe about 8 or 9 years, maybe. Yeah.
She, obviously, I do a few things and run a few businesses, but there is absolutely no chance I could do any of it without my missus. Would you agree?
100%. Like, it's been a massive help, and behind every good man's a good woman. You know what I mean? So, like, obviously, we're lucky to have a little daughter as well now, Pixie Rose. It's been a massive change in my life, and more of a driving force as well. more of a will, you know, like I'm providing for her to put bread on the table, and
Yeah.
it's unreal. It's been the best thing in my life so far. Like I always thought like winning a big fight was the best thing ever, but until you experience having it, obviously I know you've got children, like, but for people who haven't,
Yeah, it gives me goosebumps thinking
yeah,
about it.
definitely.
Because
Like people tell you like, oh, it's the best thing ever, and you're like, yeah, no worries, no worries, and then but until it actually happens, you're like, holy, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's-
and you realise that, you know, because you go through your whole life, and boxing is the best example. It's essentially fighting for yourself,
yeah,
and then you start to realise, all right, I've got this little
Definitely,
thing
yeah.
that is mine. That now, when I'm in that ring, like, she's the smallest person in the ring, but she's the most fucking powerful thing in the room.
big time. And she's been to everyone since she's been born. She's been at every one of the fights, even the Jack Gibb fight. She was born a week later. It was St. Patrick's Day. I was stressing out, man. I'm telling you, like the missus was busting. The bump, her bump was massive. All I had visions of was that, and I couldn't like. I was the main event that night. St. Patrick's Day. The whole show was based around sort of
Yeah,
that Irish.
you-
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It was I was
And you
never.
never use it. You've never used it as an excuse. There's these fighters out there that, you know, that would definitely lean on that.
Yeah,
My wife's just had
nah.
a baby, or I want to get out of it, or
That
it's
was
an
my
easy
way,
excuse.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
to do that, and then obviously the week after, my daughter was born, and she's been at every fight since. And then you'll see me in the ring with her after, or you'll see her name on the back of my shorts. It's,
Yeah.
you know,
I
it's
remember
not,
at
it's
the,
not fake. It's like what you see is that's, and I mean that, you know.
It's because it's cool to see. Particularly, like I noticed at the most recent up the tire card. I think it was, I don't know, I can't remember which card, but I remember seeing your dad there. You couldn't miss him. He's
Yeah.
just you, but older.
Yeah,
I knew exactly
everyone
who he
says
was
that,
without
yeah.
introducing myself. And
People think we're brothers.
I don't know what that's. Either he
know.
looks young or
I
you
know.
look old.
Whoa, too many punches in the head.
But you kind of see that Wallace family, like you see your wife there, she's got the green on, your daughter there, she's got the
Yeah.
green on, and you can kind of see the spider webs of the people that got you there into that ring.
100%. You know, without them, obviously, you got my brother and my sister, they both live here as well. Mother and father's at home in Ireland, they come here often, they never miss a fight. You know, it's like without them people, I wouldn't be where I am today, and that's just the bottom line, you know? Like, mother and father drive me all over the country as an amateur, you know, as a young child, and it sort of paid off, you know what I mean, to get me where I am today. Without, you know, that amateur experience, I've had 175 amateur fights and all over the world, and the money that it cost, and it's no joke. And people take it for granted. You know what I mean? They only say like now that, you know what I mean. Obviously, me being number 2 in the world. Oh, hey, but like think about all the years. I've been boxing for 20 years. I haven't been boxing for 2 or 3 years. You know, a lot of ups and downs, the hand surgeries, like
And
the
you can argue you
injuries.
still like the you know, you're still relying on sponsors, you're still, and that's
100%.
20 odd years of hard work.
Yeah.
That, you know, a fight week or a fight camp is no different to what, you know, someone in the military would go through
Yeah.
to get into the military,
Yeah.
and you're doing it however
Day
many
in, day
times
out, yeah,
you've
it's
done
all
it.
the
You know?
pieces in the puzzle, you know, and it's boxing is a very lonely sport as well, you know, because you think it's individual, but there's a lot of people that help you along the way, and a lot of, like, obviously you said the sponsors are the family, the friends, the coaches, the strength and conditioning coaches, the physios,
Yeah.
the masseuses, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of pieces that all add to the puzzle, you know?
And then, you know-
you've got like your manager, your promoter, you know what I mean? And it's great that I have a great team around me, and I'm very grateful for that, you know?
What sort of class did you grow up in Ireland? Was it like the working class? Obviously, if your parents, you know, had the money to help you through getting
Yeah.
a career and whatnot, was it a working class sort of childhood, or?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't, like, yeah, working class definitely, parents is very hard workers. It's a real Irish culture, you know, like, my mother and father still work, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's such a good example, sort of, for us, you know, that was how it was. You had to go out and work, and, you know, yes, I'm not saying we were poor, but I'm not saying we were loaded either, you know what I mean? But we did well. We got our holidays every year, and,
Yeah.
you know, but my parents worked hard, you know what I mean? And
For everything
even
they had,
now,
yeah,
you know,
sort of passed down
100%,
to you.
definitely, yeah. It's not like we weren't gifted anything, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's a great thing, you know, and even now, even whenever I haven't got a fight or anything, I still like going and coaching people, and, you know, it's a great way to be.
Have you thought about what you want to, well, how you want to bring up your daughter? You know, because obviously bringing up a young Irish lad's
Yeah.
going to be very different to bringing up
Yeah.
a young
Definitely.
a young daughter. So
I definitely will get her into it. Well, it's up to her, you know what I mean? I think she is definitely a real daddy's girl, I can tell you that. And everyone that knows her will tell you that as well. So, but, you know, I probably will get her into do a little bit of boxing if she wants to. She's already in, saying punch, daddy, punch, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I think it'll be good for her. I'm not saying that she's not going to maybe not be a Katie Taylor and fight or whatever, but it'll be good for her, as I say, self-confidence, you know what I mean? It's great. And somehow I don't think many people will bully her.
Nah, definitely not when you pass down the Golden Gloves necklace, mate. I think she's safe from there on out. So something you don't talk about much is when you essentially joined the Conor McGregor camp.
Yeah.
Like I've never really heard you lean on it. Maybe you've never really had the opportunity to talk about it either.
Yeah.
Tell me how that came about and what that sort of, because at the time, Conor was on the come up big time.
Yeah.
So being around him, assuming you were still in Ireland, you must have been sort of somewhere between 18 to 20, 21. It was right at the point where you could have gone sort of a fork in the road moment almost. Do I keep boxing? Tell me about that experience and what you learned from it.
Yeah, so obviously McGregor had the first Diaz fight. And then that was so you know, with MMA gyms and stuff, you know, people roll whoever's in the gym, they spar whoever's there, just do rounds and rounds. Like that's the sort of way an MMA sort of gym works, you know?
Yep.
So he had all his training partners, so he just trained with whoever sort of, you know, and if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know what I mean? So he hadn't really lost that. He hadn't lost, I don't think, but up until then. Obviously he had that first loss to Diaz, and then obviously whenever you have a loss, right, we got to change something. You brought in a strength and conditioning coach, you brought in, and that was the first ever camp where he brought in someone specific to
emulate.
Yes. So I was tall.
And if you think you're built, that's the first thing I thought of.
Rangy. So he got in contact with Michael Conlan. I'm sure you know Michael Conlan, boxer. He got in contact with him and asked him, do you know of any tall southpaws who would be good? And Michael Conlan gave him a couple of different names. Like I was in the same team. I was young on the team. Michael Conlan was older. He was at the Olympics and stuff. And I was sort of just coming up through the ranks myself then, just broke onto this sort of elite senior team.
Yeah.
And Michael Conlan gave him my name and a couple of others, and he ended up probably watching a bit of footage. Well, he was always a role model. Like, yes, I trained with him. You know
but I mean, prior to actually getting that opportunity was.
Oh, McGregor.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So I thought you were talking about Michael Conlan. Yeah, 100%. Everyone loved McGregor. Like everyone knew him. You know, just watching his fights, it was unbelievable. It was like the whole of Ireland, came to a standstill. You know. So yeah,
still are.
Yeah. So whenever it came to watch him spar, whenever I got offered to go and spar him, man, I'll never forget. Like I walked into the gym and I was like, "Oh, there's McGregor." Like there was loads of people there, and they go, "It's me that's sparring him here." Like no one else, it's me. And I felt like fucking, but you didn't want to be like starstruck and.
There's nothing more lonely, as you said, than walking into a room.
Me and Michael Conlan and stuff walked in, driving up the road. I'll never forget. Michael Conlan was like, that if you play your cards right here, he might even use you for the full camp. You know, like we're a good bit out in the fight, so he might even use you for the 100%. So sparring went well. We done 5 rounds or whatever it was, and he loved it. It was good.
How'd you go?
Yeah, it was good. Real good. Yeah. So. Obviously, I've sparred a lot of top guys in my time as well, you know what I mean? So, like, a boxer sparring, but he was a very good boxer as well. Yeah. Like, for an MMA fighter.
Guess, didn't he? Yeah, like, similar to your upbringing, kind of.
Yeah. So, I was a good bit taller than him, which was good and used to my advantage, my reach and stuff, and that's what he wanted, you know? So, that was all right, and he was like, oh, good work, we'd have to get some more in. And I was going to a tournament then in London, in the Haringey Box Cup. It's the biggest box cup in the world. 5 rinks going at once. Yep. Went and boxed net. At the quarterfinal of 1, semi-final of 1, final, got cut. Bad cut on my eye.
Yeah.
Headbutt, clash of heads.
Oh no.
Bad cut. Like opened up, like proper.
Worst you've had in your career?
Yeah. Oh well, that was my first sort of like real cut, you know, and it opened up a few times, and touch wood, it hasn't opened up in a long time, which is good. It opened up a couple of times early.
Yeah, we might cut this out. If fucking any opponents watch this and go,
doesn't matter. They have to catch me first. So. That was all right, but in the meantime, McGregor had texted me, so he must have knew I got cut. He goes, oh, he must have been watching my socials, because he texted me and said, oh, just saying.
And that must have been unreal to check your phone. And
he texted me, oh, seeing you got a cut, how bad is it? love to get you in for some more sparring. He goes, a good head guard and plenty of Vaseline, you'll be right. And I was like, oh, sweet, I'll let you know, maybe give it a week and get the stitches and stuff out. And I said, sweet. That was all right. So then within a couple of days, no joke, within, like, I hadn't even sparred to begin from that one time in Dublin. He goes, how would you be interested in coming to Vegas with me for the fall camp? And I was like, I rang Michael Conlon and I was like, you can't fucking wind me up here, because this is what Michael Conlon said. He goes, he'd probably try and get you to come to Vegas for the camp. And I thought it was them off like a fake phone, just winding me up.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's
proper stitch.
Michael was like, I told you, I fucking told you that, I told you. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's not wise. And I was like, oh.
How old were you?
20.
So yeah, I was more thinking about the 21.
And thing in Vegas.
Yeah.
I know, I'll tell you a good story about that in a second, but that was all right. So I ended up going anyway. Went to Vegas to the full camp. Got there, it was his birthday. As soon as we got there, it was mad. We had our own car, our own house, everything, you know.
Yeah.
It was mental, the whole experience. Like,
so did you live with him?
No. There was
Just the trainings had their own house.
The training partners had our own house, like Dylan Dennis and stuff was there. And,
you were with Dylan Dennis?
Dylan Dennis was there.
No way.
We were there,
before he fucking...
Yeah.
Really know.
So, yeah, and so me and a couple of other Irish lads too, Lee Hammond and King Cowley and stuff, it was great. Peter Quilly, all them guys, Artem Lobov, we were all in the one house together.
Wow.
So
and
it was a
big
mad
names
buzz,
in, like McGregor's.
Yeah,
group.
so, oh man, it was unreal. So,
was there ever an inkling for you to go, man, I might try this MMA?
yeah, like 100%. The boys were always asking me, and we messed about rolling and stuff, and out in the back garden, and they just fucking flip you over, like, really break your arm in 2 seconds, you know? I was like, oh, boys, don't worry about that, come on and spar me.
At the time, Dana White, you probably wanted to start pulling more Irishmen out of the...
Yeah, so it was a mad experience, you know, and like, just being there, like, we met Kanye West, fucking Cristiano Ronaldo, like, it was mad, you know? Mental.
Yeah, you never forget it, eh? Like, I've been in positions where I've got to meet people, and it's like, at the time, it's not that you take it for granted, but I think as you get older, you realise, like, I've got to keep, when I do get these opportunities, I've got to be as present as I can to soak up every second of it.
Oh, big time. And, like, it was great for me to see what it's like at the top level, you know what I mean? And probably one day I'll fight in Vegas myself and I'll not be like, oh, what's going on here, you know?
I've been here before.
Yeah, so like, he ended up letting me do his corner for the fight, which was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, there's a photo.
Yeah.
It's
like,
you're just a young Conor Wallace.
100%,
like,
yeah, like a real baby face on me. So, like, even that, like walking out, I'm not even joking you, whenever I walked out that T-Mobile arena, I'll never forget the girl at the front, you know, like the film crew, like 3, 2, 1, walk. Man, my fucking feet were, like, it was shuddering. It was mental.
And you would be chasing that, because the adrenaline you would have got would be nothing to what obviously
unbelievable.
You'd
Like,
be
we had our own locker, like Conor Wallace, all the UFC gear, everything. It was mad.
Yeah, no.
And for him to win the fight then, like, and it was like a war, like
and
a brutal war.
I think it was heaps of blood, heaps of cuts.
Yeah. And it was like a boxing match, though.
Yeah. They just boxed. And
so good.
It is. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Even meeting someone that's been in that position is incredible, let alone actually living through it.
Yeah. No, it was unreal. Like, even now, like, I still keep in touch with him now and stuff. He'd always check in before we fight or whatever and send a message, good luck or good stuff, or keep smashing it. He's good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I hope, with your progression and as you go, maybe one day he's in your corner.
Yeah.
Imagine Conor, that'd be a full circle.
Yeah, he actually walked Michael Conlon out for his debut at the Madison Square Garden whenever Michael Conlon made his pro debut. So it's great out the Irish support, the Irish, and it's great, you know?
Yeah. Tell me about sort of, like, you said at the beginning, how old are you exactly?
Right now?
Yeah, 29?
yeah.
Like, so what do you see happen in the next sort of 3-4 years? Honestly.
Yeah, well, like, I feel like right now I'm at the pinnacle of my career, you know, like right at the pointy end, you know.
Like, you're aware that you've been working towards for 20 odd years.
Yeah, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, my next fight's going to be massive, like, no interest in taking any more tune-up fights or, like, number 2 in the world now. We want that Michael Eifert fight, you know what I mean? He's the number 1 in the IBF. We want to fight him. Yeah. Even if it's for the interim, the IBF interim title. or hopefully we can get it for the legitimate world title, you know, the IBF world title. Either or, I'm happy, you know.
And is that happening in the background at the moment?
Well, it's just a bit of a waiting game, you know. I'm just at that. It's
Similar to sort of what Jai's going.
100%, yeah. You know what I mean. So it's the difference is with me and Jay. Jay's world champion. I'm not. You know what I mean. So
you got that.
Any other fight, it's pointless for me. You know, because I'm going to be no
It's
further
all
up.
risk, no reward.
100%. Like I'm still in the same position now as whenever I beat Pamplona. That brought me up to number 2. Fought in December against the Aston Wellham in the music hall, and then I fought against Dylan Collin, the last one. And simple, small things happen. You know, I got a busted eardrum in the last fight.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You know,
like,
it's not to say that the next fight that you take has
I
no
get a
bearing
cut, or
and you
break my
fucking
hand,
break
or for what? Just to, you know what I mean? And I understand how the boxing game works, and it can be so cruel sometimes. So right now, I'm happy to wait, and we want the big fight next.
Yeah. So how would something like that look? Is that something that you'd want in Australia, or is it something that you'd want overseas, or is it name the time, name the place?
Yeah,
I'm there.
I don't mind where it is. I don't care if it's at the back garden of my house. I'm happy to. That's where I want to fight.
And what promotion does he fight on?
I'm not sure. He's with that German, German crowd. Yeah. So obviously I've got Tasman fighters, Mick and Fran, you know, and Steve Deller, my manager. It's a great team, you know, and if anyone can make it happen, it's going to be them, and that's what we want. So if we can bring it to Australia, well and good. There was talk about being in Monte Carlo on that 6th of December show on the Matchroom card with Eddie Hearn. But it sort of fell through, I think. So, but it is what it is. It's just a matter of time, and I will be ready when the time comes. And that's all there is to it, you know.
Yeah. But I suppose, let's say everything goes the way that you want it to go.
Yeah.
What's that legacy of Conor Wallace look like? Have you thought about sort of the story that your daughter wants to tell about her dad one day?
Yeah, not too much, you know what I mean? I don't get too carried away with that sort of stuff, the legacy sort of stuff, and that, you know, you keep winning and that stuff, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Itself. It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, 100%. That'll take care of itself. Like, I don't really, it's more so
keep fucking winning.
100%. And like, I don't really care about legacy. You can't eat legacy.
I agree. But I just kind of want to touch on why we're doing this. How do you feel about not how you're promoted through Mick and Fran and Tasman, which is very well, but how you're promoted through media channels in Australia and things like that? Does it bother you, or do you think you deserve like more? And what's your thoughts on that side of things? Would you prefer to be a household name?
Nah, not really. It doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you. I feel like, obviously, with Tasman Fighters having its own, it's like the biggest boxing platform in the world, you know? It's all over the world, and obviously with me being Irish as well, all the fans and stuff back home, and family and friends and everything, get to watch it back home, and people are all over the world. You can watch it, if you're in an airport, you can watch it, because it's just the matter of having an app, whereas I feel like with that sort of Fox thing, you know, like, that rugby league and NRL, it's far bigger than boxing here in Australia. And like the talent that we have here in Australia, it's unbelievable, you know. And
per capita across combat sports,
100%. Like, and you don't get that, they don't get the recognition, but it is what it is. Again, as I say, that doesn't really bother me. Like, I don't box to want to be famous. I box because I love it. Box because I want to win, and my dream is to become a world champion. So all of the rest of that shit, it's media and shit. It doesn't really bother me at all. You know, yes, it's good for your sponsors and stuff. I'm very grateful, and they need to get something back out of it. I understand how it works, but like, my main goal and purpose is to be a world champion, not to be famous in Australia, you know?
I think that's where I see a lot of fighters fall, is that they try to become influencers, and they don't realise that the influence comes off the back of being a world champion.
Yeah.
And they get very caught up sort of moving up the ranks, and they, you know, the head starts to get a bit big, and then they get a bit sour, and they sort of turn from you know, posting the short clip of training out, you know, focusing on what they're going to post from the training session, than exactly where their head's been while they were training. Yeah,
exactly. Like, all that shit, it doesn't really bother me. Obviously I use my social media stuff for post my boxing and stuff, but like my personal life and stuff, and you sort of keep that to yourself. You know what I mean? Again, as I said,
it's a business.
I'm not doing it to be famous.
Yeah.
I'm doing it I had a childhood dream to become world champion since I was a very young age.
Yeah.
And this is exactly where I'm at, and I feel like I'm right at the point in that now, and
Yeah.
don't like to get distracted with all that media shit and all that. You know, it's just a matter of doing the hard work, getting in the trenches, training hard, and
Yeah.
everything else will take care of itself.
It's almost a catch-22 in the sense that the media stuff is what's going to get the eyes to then potentially get the, the fans, arguably, to then try to influence through comments and all of that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22 in that you've almost got to do a little bit of it to try to open the doors to the opportunities, because you don't want somebody. You don't want someone to go, I'm not going to fight. I have no doubt that there's fights where people go, I'm not fighting him, he's got 200 followers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that's taken into account when people look. It's not just records, it's what's their influence. If we beat them, how do we get that kind of, that shared influence from their profile to then join us, sort of thing?
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely, and it's like, I understand you, and like, understand you have to sort of market yourself and stuff, and like, if you've seen any of my fights, like, the fans are a big part of it for me, you know, like you see the Green Army, everyone wearing the green shirts, and I love that. I thrive off that, and that drives me, you know. And the more of them we can get, the better.
Yep.
You know, we got more.
You've got
more
the
people.
monopoly of the Irish people,
Yes,
I suppose.
and plus, like, there's a massive Australian. You know, and I'm very grateful for that. Like, this is not my home country, but the support I've received, it feels like it is sort of my home. You know what I mean? And I'm very grateful for that. And it doesn't go unnoticed. You know.
Mate, wrapping up, every sort of, let's call this a podcast, show, whatever, it's always brought to you by, and I thought there's probably no better people to be brought by than to your sponsors, mate. So can you give them a shout out and do what you do, mate?
Yeah, I'm very grateful for the sponsors that I have. You know, as you know yourself, it's a very hard game, and without them, and they allow me to do what I do. You know what I mean? I've got GLB equipment, got Cube Logistics, got Glen Dunn, I've got. The list goes on. I know 100% Zenko, but like there's heaps, like a Tom Two Blades, my barber. It's all small. Just did remedial massage. You know,
LDC
Finn McCool's, and 100%. You see me just pulling in my youth there. Like it's unreal, you know, and very grateful to have the support of all them. You know, as again, I'll reiterate, I cannot do what I'm doing without them, and so some people take it for granted, but I definitely don't.
Yeah. What advice would you have to young boxers that are chasing sponsors, you know, things like that? Because it is a very difficult game. Like you'd be amazed the amount of messages that I get from boxers that, and the thing is, from boxers of note as well. From boxers you think that they should have an opportunity to reach out to them. It's what advice would you have for them?
So with me, I've got a great relationship with all of my sponsors. It's not just like they throw me money and you never see or hear from me. You know what I mean? I feel like it's very easy to do the right thing, and that's the way I was reared growing up. You know, it's very simple to reach out with a text message or a call or a coffee or call in and see them. You know what I mean? And like.
Share a post.
I'm sort of fucking living proof of that. You know, like I've got a great relationship with Luke Camilleri, who gives me the car and stuff, and it's unreal. It's not just like he throws me a car and never sees or hears from me. You know what I mean?
And I throw, like, obviously in what I do for a living, it means on occasion that we deal with Mazda and clients who want to buy Mazdas.
Yeah.
And you know, through his sponsorship of you, there is no doubt that I've sent clients his way.
100%, definitely, and like. Other people have went and messaged me and put them on the look, and they've got a car, and like whenever one of us win, we all win. You know what I mean? He's getting something out of it. You know, it's great, and he's getting a return for it. It's not like he's giving me the car just because he wants a return. You know, I understand how business works.
I think the big thing is that you appreciate it, and I think appreciation is the number one thing.
I genuinely do, and it's not like I feel like I've got a great relationship and friendship with Luke through the sponsorship, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Transactions turn to relationship.
Definitely,
and
he gets a table at every one of my fights, and he's a massive supporter of my career, you know, and it's great, and I feel like that's how a lot of like the young fighters and stuff need to take that on board, you know what I mean? I feel like it's not about just getting money and they've never seen or hear from them. Like, it's easy to do the right thing and
over deliver.
And from that, it'll grow, you know.
Yeah.
They'll know you're a good fella, and
Yeah.
it's not just like, oh, tick, tick, tick. You have to
Yeah,
give
and
a
you
little
can
bit
see
back.
those that have that, because there's always a cycling of sponsors through camps, and
Yeah.
young fighters need to take note and go, okay, if that's happening, I'm not providing enough
No,
value.
definitely.
And if I'm retaining my sponsors, and I think that it legitimizes a fighter by every fight, they've got the same team. It's not just a different,
Yes.
because then one, you don't have to think about it. Like, you should be focusing on fighting, not the commercial
Yeah.
side of things of that sort of stuff.
And I think like a lot of my sponsors have been with me from the start. Obviously, you pick up new ones
Yeah.
along the way, which is perfect, and I'm very grateful. But a lot of my sponsors have been with me from the start, and that's a good, clear indication of the person that I am
Yep.
and the relationship I have with my sponsors. You know,
And business is cutthroat. Like
It is,
they
and I
will not do
understand
it again
business
if
is
they
hard.
don't feel like.
Definitely, and I understand business is hard, and people are a bit short of money sometimes, but that's how it works, you know. And it is what it is, you know.
Mate, what's when the gloves are off? Like, what is? Like, I know the typical answer will be, I like spending time with my family, having a Guinness. But what are Conor Wallace's hobbies outside of boxing?
Yeah,
You got Jai Pattaya and his fishing escapades.
Yeah.
Surely, I don't know. What you play drums, accordion?
Nah, definitely not that. But no, I enjoy going to the beach and stuff. Like I love going to the beach, and I've actually been playing a little bit of golf.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you do come across as a golfer
Yeah,
actually.
if you see me hitting the ball, you wouldn't be saying that. I might have ball the gear and looked at it, but no, like yeah, like golf. I would say is one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
I just enjoy going for, and actually like going for nice, like going to a nice restaurant or something.
Yeah.
I enjoy that, you know, and
Yeah.
enjoy a nice meal, you know.
Yeah. Mate, that's about. That is a coffee with Conor Wallace.
100%.
That is the first one.
No, what? The first man. 100%. Thank you very much.
All good, brother.
Legend. Thank you.